One of the best things about living in the United Kingdom is, of course, the National Health Service, an organisation that provides medical care for anyone in Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and it's free at the point of service. And given that for almost 2 years we've been living through a fucking plague, the NHS has really been up against it. But they're not just caring for people who've been struck down with COVID, they're also providing other services. And I'm given to believe that quite a common occurrence in the A&E department, and if you're watching from overseas, A&E is accident and emergency, for people who need immediate medical attention. Apparently it's common for certain types of men to present themselves at the hospital with foreign objects stuck in their anuses, and they always give the same excuse. The excuse goes like this: I was at home doing the cleaning when I tripped and fell onto whatever object they've clearly been pleasuring themselves with. There are two very obvious problems with that excuse. Firstly, it assumes that the person was doing the cleaning naked from the waist down, and maybe I'm the weirdo here, but I've never looked at the living room and thought, that needs tidying up, I'd best get my cock out. And secondly, when a person falls over, the body's natural reaction is to tense up. Yet these guys fall over with remarkably relaxed sphincters. But there's a story in the news about a man who arrived at the Royal Gloucester Hospital right here in the UK with an object stuck in his tradesman's entrance that caused the nursing staff to phone for outside help. The bomb squad. The patient, who hasn't been named, has been described as a military history enthusiast, and he had tripped and fell onto a live round from a Second World War British anti-tank mortar. What sort of person thinks, I want to have some anal fun times, I'll hammer some high explosives up my arse? Now I have to admit, I have a certain level of grudging respect for the guy, because it takes a special combination of bravery and stupidity to decide to get one's jollies using an item designed to punch a hole through the 80mm steel plating on a fucking Panzer tank. But that's countered with a sense of sympathy for the guy from the bomb disposal unit who took the phone call saying he's got to go and defuse a 7-inch armour-piercing projectile that some weirdo has lodged up his jacksie. I mean, The Hurt Locker would have been a very different film if it featured a scene like that, because part of the hospital had to be cordoned off so that the explosives experts could carry out their initial assessment using a wheelbarrow. That's the nickname for the bomb disposal robot. And if it had been me operating it, I would have attached a sign to that robot for the patient to read, which would simply say, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" To cut a long story short, the shell was safely removed and was then taken away to be destroyed in a controlled explosion. This is a weapon designed to go up against Nazi tank divisions under the command of the brilliant strategist Erwin Rommel. Now I doubt the brave women who worked in the munitions factories during the Second World War envisaged that 21 years into the following century, a piece of their work would be getting removed from the rectum of a sexual deviant. To be honest, I think it would have been a better outcome if the hospital staff had just set it off. Would it really be a loss to the human race that a man who thought it was a good idea to shove an explosive projectile up his own arsehole got scattered over a wide area? All it would have taken is for a nurse to get a hammer and a nail to use as an improvised firing pin, to look at the patient and say, "All right, Chief, brace yourself." So we're coming to the end of the video. And what have we learned? Well, essentially, we've learned don't take weaponry, historic or otherwise, and insert it into one of your bodily orifices. I never thought I'd need to say that. As ever, thanks for watching.